If you're new here, welcome to my series where I review every single Marvel project before Avengers Doomsday. Well, I mean all the movies by Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment, and also all the Disney Plus shows if I have enough time for that. Depending on how much I can watch, I might also review all the Netflix Marvel shows too. So on screen now, here's every single season of Daredevil ranked. I'll probably review it in detail if I ever watch the Ben Affleck movie from 2003. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about Black Widow and Hawkeye. So I'm reviewing the Black Widow movie and the Hawkeye Disney Plus show. So before I get into it, if you happen to enjoy this video, please do well to subscribe. So for those who don't know Black Widow and Hawkeye, in the MCU they were mainstays and even founding members of the Avengers, with Black Widow even boasting more appearances than Hawkeye. Both of them are the two normal characters in the Avengers who never really get enough screen time in those movies, which is a small critique I have of the Avengers movies in general. So Black Widow and Clint had relatively different fates in the MCU. Natasha, a strong co-lead in Avengers Endgame up until her very heartbreaking death, while Barton survived the events of Avengers Endgame and hasn't really done much except for what happened in his show. So I guess it's time we review them. So this movie takes place after Captain America Civil War, but it was released in 2021, 2 years after she died. Yeah, Disney didn't think this one through. It was so obvious that all the personal stakes in the movie was gone because we already know her fate. But you know what? I'm going to ignore that and I'm just going to go into the movie like it happened after Captain America Civil War and it released in 2016 or 2017. I'll be honest and say this, the movie is actually kind of boring and it has lots of dry and boring moments in the pacing. The character work is a bit hit or miss for me. Though on one hand we have a character like Yelena who is very likable in this, and then we have a character like Red Guardian who's quite annoying and he doesn't really develop or change in the slightest. Now time for me to be a contrarian and have a very hot take. I didn't hate Taskmaster in this movie because her character does service the story in an interesting way. Her fight scene with Natasha was cool and her redemption at the end was also done well. I know why people don't like her though, and it's kinda stupid. Yeah, sure, there's a lot changed from the comics, but this isn't a comic, this is an adaptation. If you want the comic, then go and read the comic where Taskmaster is the way you like him or whatever. She isn't the only character who was changed to fit the narrative in the MCU. Baron Zemo was changed a lot in Civil War. The Mandarin in Iron Man 3 was also changed a lot too. But you guys complain about Taskmaster in this movie because she's a woman. It's sad that a good chunk of these fan bases are just filled with misogynists and it's honestly quite annoying. But after saying that, I also like the character of Natasha in this. This is arguably her best characterization since the likes of Civil War or Endgame. I'd personally put it below Endgame and above Civil War though. The sad thing about this movie is that Dreykov is such a boring villain and somehow he's very annoying. Me calling him annoying doesn't make him a good villain. He's annoying because he's badly written as a character. His motivations are so campy, it's really very hard to take him seriously. Now for the last thing I like about this movie, and that is the climax, because it wasn't a big huge fight, it was mainly about getting people out of there and making sure Dreykov doesn't escape. The only drawback is the infamous green screen moment. Well, with that being said, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Black Widow. I don't see myself rewatching that movie anytime soon. So I'm going to be giving Black Widow a 4 out of 10. Now on to... Honestly, I kinda like this one a bit better, even though it has its fair share of problems. So you know what, I'll start off with the stuff I don't like about Hawkeye. First off, I don't like Kingpin as a villain in this. He's just kinda shoehorned in for the people who are fans of the Daredevil show to get excited for. Because narratively speaking, it actually comes out from nowhere. He does have a good fight in the finale, but you could have replaced him with any other villain and it would have still had the same bad effect. Now there's a subplot about mobs going after the Ronin and trying to take down Kate Bishop, and it does kind of overstay its welcome a bit. I think it should have stopped after episode 2. Honestly, the whole plotline with Maya 2 also overstays its welcome. It felt like it was trying to set up another show, which it did, but it was done at the expense of this show. And lastly, alongside the stupid ass Kingpin reveal, I didn't like the fact that Kate Bishop's mother was evil, because sure, it was set up in the first episode, but damn, I don't like it when characters I like get so much bad fortune towards them. And this one felt kinda forced. Like, so the ending was bittersweet when Kate spent her Christmas with the Bartons that her new found rather than her own mother. Now onto the stuff I do like about this. And that's more or less everything else. This isn't a show that will change your thinking or something like that. but it has so much heart and it excels as being a good comfort show that you watch with your family during Christmas. Martin in this show doesn't really develop, but then again, he's already what you call a perfect character. So what he does is help the actual protagonist of this show, Kate Bishop, and he helps her grow. He also had this race against the clock plotline that kept me on my toes. He left his children and family to help out Kate Bishop, and he had to return there by Christmas Day, which actually was done very well and always made me root for Hawkeye throughout this show. Even his encounter with Yelena was well done, and her grief with the loss of Natasha was also done very well here. But it was nice that she finally was able to accept the truth and make the better choice and see that her sister, Black Widow, was truly such a good hero. I like the Easter egg at the end that basically confirmed that Laura Barton, that is Clint Barton's wife, was Mockingbird back in the peak and the heights of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a company that we didn't get to really see much of in the MCU, because by 2014 in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. was shut down because for some weird reason they had Hydra operatives under them and they didn't know for multiple years. Damn, why did the MCU have to do that? I really wanted to see more of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this world, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. So when it comes to Kate Bishop, our actual protagonist, she does grow as a character and she does become better at being a hero and she becomes less reckless. I really love her dynamic with Clint Barton and her zeal to just be like him, be a hero. So yeah, with all the flaws this show has, it was still very enjoyable because of the characters and because it had so much heart. So I'm going to be giving Hawkeye a 7 out of 10. Well, okay guys, right now I'm about to start watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if I finish it by next week, you'll probably get a very long Captain America full franchise review. So if you enjoyed this and you're excited for that, please like the video and please subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.